Today is August 21st, 2023. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, the topic today is chemical abortion, and there are two somewhat unrelated stories that deal with that topic. First, according to Heartbeat International, which is the parent organization for hundreds of pregnancy care centers all across the country, according to them, 4,000 babies have been saved and are alive today because of a relatively new procedure called abortion reversal or abortion pill reversal. So let's back up. What is chemical abortion? It's a two-drug regimen that women can take in a doctor's office or in their home, somewhere between 7 and 10 weeks into their pregnancy. The FDA originally approved the drug mifepristone to be administered like by the 7th week of pregnancy, but the Biden administration allowed it to be increased to the 10th week. So we have this. The first drug is mifepristone, and then about a week later, a second drug is given. And the mifepristone inhibits the production of progesterone, which women need to maintain a healthy pregnancy. So it inhibits or prevents progesterone, and then it creates a situation where the baby in the womb becomes its life becomes unsustainable, and the second pill would expel the baby. So it's an abortifacient. It kills babies by the thousands, and it is now it is as common as surgical abortion. It is as common. It's become the new method of choice for women who want to have abortions. Well, this first story is the bad news. The second story I'll give you is the good news. But the Colorado medical boards are pushing through policies that would prohibit doctors from using this abortion reversal procedure. So I've told you what mifepristone does. So what is abortion pill reversal? Let's say a woman takes her first pill, mifepristone, and then the next day or 10 hours later, she regrets it. I have made a horrible mistake. I didn't know what I was doing, basically. I made a big mistake. Is there a way that I can reverse this? Well, the pro-life movement has discovered through research and testing and chemical and scientific studies that if a doctor prescribes heavy doses of progesterone, that those doses can counteract mifepristone and restore that level of progesterone that will maintain her pregnancy. And they did a test of 500 women, and they determined that the success rate for this abortion reversal was about 65%. So that's a good for babies who are at risk of being killed through chemical abortion. 65% is a pretty good percentage. So it is successful in 65% of the time that heavy doses of progesterone will restore a woman's healthy pregnancy, and then she will deliver a healthy baby. Well, last Thursday, the Colorado Medical Board decided that abortion reversal is outside the generally accepted standard of practice, unquote. Well, all I have to say on that is, if these doctors who are so in love with abortion, that somehow killing a baby in the womb is accepted standard of medical practice, then that explains why some of these medical societies are in favor of partial birth abortion, which is infanticide, because these babies are 28, 32, 35, 36 weeks along in their pregnancy. These babies are 3, 4, 5 pound babies, maybe not 5, but at least 4 pound babies. And they're aborted in the final trimester. And somehow this is accepted standard practice? Don't tell me that. Killing a baby is not standard medical procedures. Delivering a baby, that is standard practice. And it has been since Adam and Eve. Anyway, okay. So let me move on to the good news. Well, I guess I want to just finish with the bad news here, is that if they're going to prohibit doctors, a doctor who prescribes this heavy dose of progesterone, if he loses his medical license because this Colorado Medical Board says it's outside of their standard practice, this is a scary thing, that these medical boards are imposing an ideology and orthodoxy that demands dead babies. So we'll keep you posted on this situation, but it's not good in the state of Colorado. Now, the good news is, on August 16th, last week, the Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, which I believe is in New Orleans, somewhat upheld a lower court decision that the Food and Drug Administration, so the FDA, must restore safeguards for mifepristone, the pill used in first trimester chemical abortions. Now let's look back. Several months ago, a federal judge, I think it was a pro-life organization, appealed to a federal judge in Texas, Judge Kaczmarek, I believe his name was, to prevent the FDA from authorizing the use of mifepristone because it was rushed through without safety protocols. And Kaczmarek ruled that he was going to put a stay or a block on mifepristone. Well, here we go. This was appealed, obviously, by the pro-abortion people, and an appellate court in New Orleans ruled that the FDA can restore mifepristone, but with major safeguards. Now, let me keep reading here. In this case, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's called Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine versus U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So it's Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine versus the FDA. The appellate court condemned the FDA's approval process of mifepristone, which is what Judge Kaczmarek said several months ago. Henceforth, the FDA would have to restore strict limits on the drug to protect women's health. In a massive pro-life victory, the court ruled that abortion businesses were now prohibited from sending mifepristone through the mail, a policy that the FDA had implemented in 2021, but in violation of federal law. So that is good news, because there was always this new procedure of webcam abortions where the woman could be talking to her doctor on a Zoom and taking her drug with him there. Now things can't go through the mail, so that she has to see a doctor in person. Writes LifeNews.com, quote, if upheld by the Supreme Court, the ruling will put a massive dent in mail order abortion business. The Fifth Circuit, unquote. The Fifth Circuit also ruled, this is good too, that the FDA must roll back use of the drug from its current 10-week limit, or 70 days, back to the original 7 weeks limit of 49 days. The 7-week limit had been FDA's original policy, but was altered in 2016 during the last year of the Obama presidency. And the Biden administration has strongly promoted mifepristone's use up to that 10-week limit. Interestingly, one of the judges on this Fifth Circuit, Judge James Ho, dissented in the case. But he didn't dissent because he wants mifepristone back on the market. He dissented arguing that the Fifth Circuit should have gone further and completely revoked the FDA's authorization of mifepristone. And that would have banned the drug nationwide. So thank you, Judge Ho, for taking a strong pro-life position. But that was not the majority. So we have to live with the Fifth Circuit. It's kind of a mixed ruling, but it's more good than bad. And because now more safety standards, more protocols, reduced from 10 weeks to 7 weeks. And obviously this will be appealed again by the Planned Parenthood type abortion industry. And it will most likely go before the Supreme Court, which is, as we all know from Doms, it does have a pro-life, at least a moderately pro-life majority. So, I'm not holding out on this, but we'll see how the Supreme Court deals with the future of mifepristone in light of this appellate court decision in Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine versus the FDA. With that, I will let you go. But before I let you go, I want to remind you, November 8, 2023, all roads lead to Lansing. Because on that day, Michigan is going to hold a March for Life at the State Capitol building. So we're organizing buses. We're going to hopefully fill these buses, and we're going to have thousands of people descend on the Capitol in Lansing to declare to our governor and to all of her pro-abortion staff and top officials, as well as the pro-abortion legislature, House and Senate, that we have not gone away. The pro-life movement is alive and well and strong, and we are not giving up an unborn life in the state of Michigan. With that, I'll let you go. I will see you next time.